What I'm really seeing most is people are excited about the fact that politics might be being done differently, might be done in a way that engages them, that actually interests them, as opposed to looking at trying to suppress or divide communities or Canadians against themselves and each other. I'm trying to bring people together, and I think people have been hungry for that. One of the things I learned traveling was that we are luckier here in Canada than 99% of everybody on the planet, just because we live in this country. And with opportunities and with that kind of luck comes a responsibility to do right by it. And that was really what we were raised with, this sense that you have to do something meaningful in your life. You have to figure out what it is that you're good at, what it is that you like to do, what your passion is, and translate that into impact in the world around you. A good teacher, like a good politician, is not someone who stands up in front of a group of people and says that they have all the answers. A good teacher is someone who understands the needs of their students and helps them develop the tools that are going to have them achieve success. A good teacher is good at taking difficult concepts and breaking them down in different ways so that individuals with particular needs or particular perspectives are going to be able to make sense of them and move themselves forward. A teacher is a lifelong learner, someone who's never knows enough, is always curious to learn more, always curious to improve, always curious to find better ways of having an impact. And a teacher's job, much like a politician's job, is not about the money or the glory. God, no. It's about feeling like you have an opportunity to do something meaningful. And in order to do that, you make certain sacrifices and you work very, very hard. And hopefully at the end of the day, and at the end of the school year, and at the end of the term, and at the end of your life, you can look back and say, yeah, I mattered in shaping the world. Because if the Liberal Party doesn't wake up and change and reconnect with Canadians and bring in a new generation of young people into politics to participate, to believe, to put forward our ideas and our answers, yes, to listen to our wise elders, but to know that it's time for this extraordinary generation that is more plugged in, more aware, more conscious of things going on around them in the world than ever before, but all too often feels disempowered by that information rather than empowered by it. It's time for us to step up. Right now, the fact that MPs owe everything to the party brand that they got elected by, rather than to the citizens who actually voted for them, is a big part of what's weakening our democratic system. We have an awful lot of work to do to restore, at the very base, not so much the quality of members of parliament, but the engagement of citizens towards the people they elect. We are a country that gets along. And our capacity to do that, to build strong civil society institutions, to share our governance lessons around the world, is at the heart of what Canada's always done well. I mean, people like to point to peacekeepers and say, well, this is Canada's gift to the world. But people tend to forget the only reason that Canada actually had a voice in creating the UN peacekeepers was because we had earned our place at the table by having fought well above our weight class on the beaches of World War II and the trenches of World War I. We had demonstrated that we were willing and able to step up for our values and our beliefs and fight and die and sacrifice the very best of the young people among us for far-off ideals. And partially because of that, and because of other factors, Canada has become a country that when it lands on foreign soil anywhere around the world, people don't see it as, oh, you've come to recolonize us because of your history. You've come to take our oil. You've come to impose your solutions. You've come to conquer us. No. Everywhere around the world, different from most, if not all, Western countries, Canada has almost no baggage. And therefore, people see Canada as genuinely being there to help. And we've strayed from that. We're nowhere near the force for peace, for balance, for justice in the world that we used to be. And I know that Canadians want to get back to that, want to be proud once again of Canada's place in the world. And that's certainly something that I believe in deeply.
The University of Toronto student, Jonathan and I would like to present you with a University of Toronto scarf.
Thank you very much.